A lot of people ask me, how do I know if coding is for me? They hear the money is good and they see someone on TikTok as well talking about 2 hours a day and remote vibes, but they never stop to check whether they really enjoy the stuff. In today's episode, I'm going to give you a no fluff guide to figure out quickly if coding is your thing. And yes, we'll even do a very simple coding challenge together. Let's get into it. Instead of me just repeating the very same thing you've been hearing in many other YouTube videos, I'm going to write a very simple HTML plus JavaScript example. These are just the two languages that you can use to make website, right? And if this example that I'm going to do, it's going to excite you and makes you curious to sort of tinker and find out more, then that could be like a very good green light that you are interested in this. But if it drains you, well, feel no shame. At least now you know, right? I'm just going to then go ahead and paste a piece of code here, and then you will see some stuff happening here. I'm doing all this thing inside codepen.io. This is just a website wherein we can play around with code and then see how it executes. And what code or coding or programming is, it's literally just giving a computer a set of instructions that it has to go and execute and do on your behalf. And that's it. So in this case, we are just saying, hey, computer, I'm giving you this piece of code. Go and print out something called hello world and also add the button that says click me. And that's it. And when I click that button, do this other thing. And that is what's happening in this code. So you can see we have this title. The title is just the title of the page itself. And then hello world will be the title, the text that is being shown now. And then click me, it's the button that you're seeing here. And then here it's literally the other instruction that is going to be executed the moment you click this button. And then this instruction is going to say, hey, go into my view and then change the text greetings from hello there to you just ran your first code. And let's see when we click this. Boom. Then we got it. It works, which means now we have just done our first code. I'll paste this code below just so that you can be able to just replicate the very same thing, and then I'll give you instructions on how to do it inside CodePen.io. If this excites you, this is good sign. If you're already off, well, you probably won't even hear me up to this level, right? Now that you have seen me doing it, you also need to try it yourself. So go ahead, paste this code, and then paste it on codepen.io, and then try it out for yourself. If it still excites you, then you need to stick around until the end of the video. We literally just passed the most difficult part of the test, right? Which is to figure out if writing code or seeing things happen when we write a few lines of code excites us. So then now you can ask yourself, was that interesting to you? Did your brain light up a bit when this worked? Did you just have that aha moment? If yes, then cool, let's keep on. If no, then maybe ask yourself deeper until you figure out the real answer on that. And as well, do you want to try make it change colors or add a second button and see what it will do? And if that is the case, then that is the mindset we're really looking for from each and every engineer or each and every coder or developer that exists out there. Remember, so far we have sort of figured out that coding is mostly based on curiosity. And are you willing to stay resilient and get to solve the problem? So then I'm going to introduce the second problem of our quick test, right? And this one just involves a small puzzle. And this small puzzle, it's all about writing a super basic program that adds two numbers. So it has enter the first number and enter another number. And then once you said add, it gives you the results. And that's it. And all this thing is doing, it has some sort of an input, which means where somebody puts the first number, where somebody puts the second number, where somebody gets to click a button, and then that button goes and add those two numbers and then show the results of those two numbers just below the button. And all the magic is happening here. This is just what we are seeing. So let's see if we go and say 1 plus 1, and then we edit, then it tells you the result is 2. If we say 1 plus 2, the result is 3, and that's it. That's a very simple example, right? But then now we can start thinking about, or you start asking yourself questions like, what if I want to do a program that multiplies two numbers, or that subtracts the first number from the second number, or that divides, or that does some other things that you want to sort of do, or maybe combine your name and your surname. And that curiosity is key in software engineering, by the way, and that's what we are really looking forward to, and that's what will make you really flourish in this space. So far, I gave you 2 problems to think about, and we saw them working. And I'm going to assume you have also tried them out, because having to try something out in software engineering or in coding is the most important thing, because nobody's going to be writing this code for you. You have to write it yourself. You have to understand it, right? So then now that you have done this second example and you have tried to play around with it, do multiplications, do subtractions, or do other stuff that you might want to do, then we can go to asking ourselves, obviously, some nice green lights or red lights. The green lights and red lights will just determine or basically ask you how you felt as you were doing these problems that we have right now. The first green light, which means you just have to ask yourself if you enjoyed solving the logic or this problem, to say, how can I do multiplications? How can I do subtractions? If you did solve it and you were happy and you enjoyed it, then that means we are good. Green light. You're doing great so far. And as well as if you came across any errors and you tried to at least Google the answer. These days, you actually can put it on ChatGPT or some AI, and then it will do the analysis for you, right? If you have tried doing that, it means really, really you have high interest and you are looking forward to solve this problem. Instead of you just quitting and say, this is difficult, let's close the laptop and then go sleep. So having to stay and then Google and try to find out the issue and try to solve it, then another green light. And the third green light is you want to learn more. I mean, software engineering always evolves, or technology always evolves. All right. So if you want to learn more, or you're curious to learn more, it means that even when you're inside and when you're already a software developer, or you're writing software for a company or your own applications, having to have that interest to always learn and just try to figure out more that you don't know, explore more, try out, and all those kind of things would be very key, right? So if you felt that way, that you want to learn more after these simple 2 examples, then another third green light. So then now we have gotten to talk about these 3 green lights. But then now let's talk about what are the red lights, which means what are the things that you need to be careful or aware, or maybe find out more if maybe you had sort of experienced this, right? If you hated every second of this video ever since we joined, or ever since we tried some of these examples, then that could be a red light, right? And then the other, or red flag, by the way. And the other one is you're only thinking about how fast you can end. Again, red light. I mean, I'm trying by all means to just take the money aspect of software engineering from people or aspiring developers as possible. So if you were just thinking about, let me just finish this problem so that I can just go get the money, well, that's red light. That's red light. Software engineering doesn't need emotions. It needs your problem solving skills. And for you to solve a problem, you don't need to be using emotions. You have to be focusing on the problem and then find the solution to that. And again, the last one is just, when the solution or the thing worked, you didn't feel any excitement, or you didn't feel like, wow, that's good, that's nice, then it's maybe another red flag, basically. But again, these things could be you could misinterpret some of these things. So sure, you can reach out to me and then ask me some of these questions, and I'll definitely help you out at a more personal level, rather than just using it from a video point of view only. In a nutshell, right, when after this red light, green light, red flag thing that we sort of did right now, all you just have to have at the top of your mind is coding is all about thinking in systems, right? And if that excites you or if it amazes you, then that's good. But if that makes you feel down, doesn't really excite you that much, well, maybe you might need to sort of pivot early. Again, this is just a quick analysis into this, right? You can always figure out or find out what really works or what really applies to you, and you can reach out. So then you ask yourself, what are the next steps? What do you then need to do from here, right? What you can do, right? It's a very simple process that people always follow. And I think it does work. You can go ahead and just learn HTML. You can go then learn CSS and you can go learn JavaScript in that order. So what HTML does, it's what you just see now. It sort of prints a few things that you will get to see on your browser and be able to interact with them, be it your buttons or be it your inputs or just be it normal text. And then when you start learning CSS, it's basically giving your HTML some life, right? Which means if you want to add a color to your button, a background to your text, you want to make it bold and all those other stuff, then you will start seeing those changes happening. But those two, for me, I sort of see them as two scripting languages that are exciting, but they don't really get to solve entirely the whole problem you'll get in the real world, right? It doesn't have any meat or logic that can do the work. So if you want to calculate two numbers, HTML and CSS definitely won't do the job for you. Then you need to start learning things like your JavaScript, or you start learning things like your TypeScript or Java or C Sharp or Python or Go or yeah, those are the ones that I can think of right now. And then you take it sort of from there. And then the second one is start with the free platform, right? I've put together some videos as well on YouTube on a playlist where you can just go ahead, learn a few videos there. If they are not that useful, do let me know. Definitely we'll be putting together a very nice playlist as well for people who are just starting, to make sure that they really get a very good kickstart and then they really understand the concepts that are around coding. So yeah, you can go and try it out. Otherwise, there's things like your freecodecamp.org. There is, and then it will allow you to be able to practice and learn for free, by the way. The third one, it's actually to say, aim to at least build one project in 30 days, right? Be it a calculator, be it a to-do list, be it a personal website, which means something that presents you and maybe your CV online on a website. And that's it. Biggest thing to note as you're learning these programming languages, don't spend too much time on HTML and CSS. Preferably spend less than a week and move on to the stuff that really matters and the things that really has big value in software engineering, which is like your logic, and could be JavaScript, C Sharp, Python, or all the other logic languages that you sort of get out there. And yeah, I mean, if you're still not really feeling software engineering, it's okay. I mean, tech has so many streams, right? Things like your UX, which is UX UI, somebody who works with designs and then they just, drag and drop things and then they design your nice buttons on these nice screens before they get to be developed. Or you can do data analytics or data analysis. Probably just need to take some data, analyze it, interpret it, and then convert it to some sort of business value. You can do project management, which is essentially the person that goes to say, okay, cool, we have this project. These are the risks. This is what needs to be done. Requirements gathering, understanding what the customer needs, and all those other interesting stuff. You can do that. You can do product strategy. For me, it sort of falls under project in management. And that's that. I mean, there's many other lanes, by the way, you can go for. You can go for testing. You can go for cybersecurity. You can go for many other things around that. And if you really want me to sort of cover each and then unpack it one by one, definitely let me know on the comment. And then I'll definitely create a video for that. I mean, you probably asking yourself, why did I spend so much time creating this very long video? The reason being is because I'm seeing so many people buying courses on Udemy, starting school and never finish it, and then just waste so much money and only figure out that they are not really into software engineering the first week or the first month or the first 2 months because they don't really know what it entails. I mean, the name looks nice, and obviously the guys on Instagram and TikTok are making it look much, much, much nicer and much, much easier. I'm not saying it's difficult, but it's challenging and it's exciting, right? And this video is just to make sure that you really know at least what you're getting yourself into before you get yourself into it. Before you actually commit to say you want to be a software engineer, paying hundreds and hundreds of thousands or 50,000s or 20,000s, 1,000, whatever the amount of money is, you already know what you're getting yourself into before you get to commit. And my final thoughts now is that the goal isn't to impress people online, right? It's to really find something that you can grow in. Don't fake love for coding. You should test it, you should feel it, and then decide. The reason why I'm saying you should test it and feel it and then decide is there is this thing of, people just going for something they don't really like or they don't even want to invest more time on. It just makes you become an developer or like a bad developer. Sure, you'd be growing, you could be getting some opportunities and all that, right? But you'd never get to be at the best level that you could ever be if you just get into it without having to, try it out and feel and decide if this is really your thing. I hope this video really outlined something you can use as a base of whether software engineering is your thing, coding is your thing, programming is your thing, or being a developer is your thing, and not just go with vibes that you're seeing online. Otherwise, the legendary line. Now that you have had it, go and apply it. Thank you.